We ride together, we die together. We some petty bitches, boo. We holding it down, we straighten the crowns. Petty bitches and we coming to you. We ride together, we die together. We some petty bitches, boo. We holding it down, we straighten the crown. Petty bitches and we coming to you.
Excited
yeah,
because this has been the highlight of my week. It's been a rough week.
Yeah, definitely. Although like we work a 9-to-5 job, the both of us, sometimes even 9-to-9 job, but this
9
is
to 9. I'm more like 7 a.m. to like 8 p.m. I don't even know how many hours that is.
Very true. Well, I think that's 11 hours.
Yeah.
If I'm doing my math right, which I don't do often. But the point of this, the moral of the story is, this is, even though it's more work and like we have to put in the work, we enjoy
this. But this is more fun. I think this is definitely more a creative outlet for us.
Exactly.
Whereas, for me, my regular 9-to-5 job, or whatever job is, how many hours a day, it is a creative outlet, but I feel like I'm more of a chaos coordinator. That I'm just fixing every problem, which I feel like there shouldn't be as many problems as they are. But you digress. I digress. But it's fun. Yes. It's a fun job.
But this is something we control. We don't have to answer to anybody else but
we make final decisions.
Exactly.
We can control everything.
Exactly.
Whereas in our other jobs, we can't control shit.
No, we cannot. I mean, but that's with everything. You have to find your...
We have to find balance.
Exactly the word I was looking for.
Noise, sorry.
It's that wine. It's
wine. Welcome back to the PAB podcast. That was a little weird.
No, it wasn't weird. It was, what we're going through. This is also our therapy.
It is.
Before we even press play.
Yes, welcome back to the PAB podcast. Episode 6.
Yes.
Woo, 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 woo. Sorry, I really like the way this pattern looks, and it's funny.
It's cute. It looks cute on you.
It's cute. And I don't normally like crazy patterns like this. So.
Amen.
Living life on the edge. Maybe I'm about to have a mental breakdown.
Who knew houndstooth would be so edgy?
Anyways, episode 6. Today, what are we talking about, Ms. Aryele?
Marriage or nah?
Nah.
Oh, gosh. TikTok moments.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're discussing, as millennials, as relationships that are happening now, whether you're millennial, Gen X, Gen Z, however many gens there are, what it is to look for in the next step. Are you ready to be married? Are you ready to get engaged?
Pressured to get married?
Right.
Because I know I do sometimes, and I'm not even with somebody. I think I feel more pressure to have children, just because I have family members that are always like, you don't need a man. You don't need a man.
I would like one.
You don't need to have a boyfriend. You don't need to get married to have a child.
Just have a baby.
Just have a baby. You're going to help pay.
Crazy.
You all going to pay for this child?
No. You're going to do it all day in, day out with this child? No. I would like a partner. Please a partner. And thank you.
I also low-key feel pressured to date, to be honest.
Yeah.
I do think because of having so many friends that are married or engaged or with somebody who has a significant other, and I haven't found my person, and I always feel like I'm pressured to be on dating apps or going out trying to meet somebody, but then I meet crazy people, as we witnessed yesterday.
Yeah, no. It's hard.
It is.
It is definitely
It's hard because I don't want to just settle.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, I'm 26, but my family, my aunts, my uncles, I grew up very age gapped from the generation that I'm in. So a lot of my aunts, never my uncles, a lot of my aunts, they're just like, do you have a potential? Is there somebody you're looking at? Is there somebody you're talking to?
Why can't I be myself?
Exactly, and that's what I tell them. I'm like, I'm just worried about me right now. I'm focused on me before I decide to put anybody else into my world, because I'm enough to handle on my own.
Well, too, you can't be with somebody and not be like figure out who you are.
Exactly.
You have to figure out your bullcrap, which you never truly figure that out.
No, but you know enough to be a mature person.
But you have to get a lot of things aligned.
Exactly.
Like, and I feel like nowadays, especially people our age that got married like right out of high school, were just doing it because to get out of the house, because they felt that's what they were supposed to do because they were an adult. That's being married isn't part of being an adult. I mean, it's a phase in adulthood. Yeah. But I don't think you have to be married or have to do anything. You do whatever. You don't even need to get married. I had a conversation with somebody earlier this week that you can just literally, the agreement between the two people in the relationship, if both of them don't want to get married, but yet that you guys have agreed to commit to one another, that's also another.
But that's what people forget, is marriage is an agreement. That's a contract. That sometimes it's seen as business, like contractual business.
Yeah, but paperwork gets messy.
Sometimes things got lost in the mail and lost in translation, because sometimes you just aren't on the same page, and that's how divorce happens. Yes. But sorry, our producer Jess is like, holla.
Well, this whole topic was her idea too, so we need to definitely give her a shout out on that.
Yes, thanks for the topics, girl. If you have any topics that you want us to discuss, leave them in the comments below, message, subscribe, all that good jazz. We forgot to do that. Yes.
Oh, or email. Yeah, we did forget to do that.
It's okay.
We'll do it at the end. It's fine.
We'll loop you in. Don't worry.
We'll loop you guys back into this group. So are you dating solely just to get married? I guess is a great question.
Yeah. Personally, yes, for the simple fact that I would date my morals. Like, I would date in order to find that person that I would want to spend the rest of my life. I'm not dating just to date, because I don't like people that much where I'm just going to date you. I'm just not going to, no. I don't like people that much where I'm just like, I'm going to just waste my time and like date you and then nothing happen after. No, that's not where I am at in life. If I want to date you, if I want to commit my time to you, I'm going to expect something in return, whether that's now, whether that's later, but we'll have that discussion throughout. But it's one of those things, I want to date someone in the hopes that it can become a lifelong partnership.
I agree. Like, I date because I want to find what my parents had. Like, I always say this, I am very spoiled, and I'm very blessed to have grown up to witness the love that I witnessed. And my parents were each other's soulmate. And even up to when my father passed away, I could tell that was one of the hardest things for me to go through, is to watch my mom lose her soulmate, not just her best friend. She lost her person, and I want that so much that I feel like sometimes I'm pressured to date to find that. And I'm only dating to find that, so I don't really give time of day to a lot of guys.
Exactly.
So I know that I've encouraged some guys that I've talked to to watch the podcast. If I don't talk to you, if I don't solely invest in you, it's because I don't feel that connection that I saw growing up. Like I said, I'm blessed. I know the signs of somebody who is supposed to be my person. That's how I know some of my really great friends are going to end up being together with their person because they found it. There's that weird connection that clicked. They're like missing puzzle pieces to one another, and I haven't found that. And I do feel pressure to date because I do have those friends saying, like, you need to find somebody, you need to do this, you need that. And it's not that easy. Like, it was easy for them, but it's
not easy at all.
No.
I mean, I don't feel pressure, but I definitely know what I want, and I'm not going to stop myself from getting it. And I don't need anybody else in my circles to tell me what I need when I already know what I need. Like, I know what I need.
No, I know exactly when I need somebody, that's going to give me the attention that I need, that's not going to give to other people. Because I give everybody my attention. And caring for them. I just need somebody to give me attention and that wants to help me grow. A, and B, I need somebody that's going to make a decision for me sometimes because I do make a lot of decisions all the time, and I need sometimes that person to make that decision for me. But going back to the whole social pressure of it, I don't know what Jess is doing. Like, I just see her out of the corner of my eye doing stuff. But back to social pressures, we did an Instagram poll, and 62 people feel pressure that they're supposed to get married and date and do all those things, and I feel them. I really do. I feel you guys. It causes so much anxiety for me.
It does.
And then the whole like just getting engaged in the proposal, which people I feel are just doing it for the likes, the comments, the people to engage in their social media, and they're not doing it for the right reasons. They're only doing it because they want to be Instagram famous. And
they want content.
Yeah.
And I think they just want content. Unfortunately, life will bring you content. You don't have to work so hard for it. Yeah. I promise. It'll happen. It will happen. It will provide you the moments you need, and you don't need to look for them. They will come.
No.
And I think that's where that pressure is, because if you put so much pressure on something, it's going to burst and it's going to make a mess. Well, and so you have to be careful with pressure, because it's and I think a lot of people feel so pressured because they're just like, what's wrong with me? At least sometimes that's how I feel. Like, is there something wrong with me that I'm not seeing that I need to work on? And sometimes you do.
Self-awareness is key to life.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel that way a lot. Like, even, like, the situation we were talking yesterday with the guy that I was talking to, flat out said, this is why you're single. And I'm like, first off, you don't even know me to know why I'm single. Right. And yes, there are things that I need to work out on. I've also been in a mentally abusive relationship, and I do have insecurities from that, and that's something I'm working through.
Right.
I also overly make sure that we're on the same page all the time.
Yes.
Whoever I'm talking to, I want to make sure that you and I are on the exact same page. But I don't even know where to go with that. Like, it's like there are things I need to work on. Finding that person that's willing to work on it with me is
exactly.
It's a struggle. And your life does create content right now. My content is this Podcast, my work.
Yeah. And that's the content you need, and the rest will come. It'll happen, like they always say, it'll happen when you least expect it. And it does happen when you're just like, skipping around, not really worrying about it so much. And then boom, the right person will come into your life. And you also, when that happens, you also have to take the time to kind of just be in the moment.
You also have to nurture it.
Yes.
Don't rush it.
Yeah, yes. You have to be in the moment. You can't, if you're too busy, and I learned that very recently. If you're too busy thinking so much of the future and what's going to happen, you forget to see what you're in the moment. And that's also dangerous, because if you're so focused on the future, you miss out on the signs of.
You also miss out on the opportunities that are in front of you too.
Yes, but I mean also the signs of like red flags and and ways that maybe will make your relationship. The bad is the red flags, the moments that you're so busy thinking so far in the future that you forget to look at those moments that will cause issues in that future. And then there are the goods where you forget to learn important details of the partner, of the human next to you, to just be like, oh wow, I really love that trait in them. How can I foster that? How can I make it better? How can I gain it to make us better? Or then you don't realize
the things that you don't like in a person.
Right.
Like the way they talk to you, or the red flags of how they flip the switch on. You say one little thing and they freak out on you. Like, you really do have to start living in the moment. Yeah. I'm guilty of looking in the future all the time. Yes. I'm a planner, and that's something I have to work on. Right.
But I mean, self-awareness is key. You know what you have to work on.
I feel like there should be a hashtag for self-awareness.
I mean, honestly, that's like one of my biggest things for this year. It's just like, self-awareness is key. Like, if you don't know it about yourself, then how do you expect somebody else to?
That's true. You can't, like...
You can't read minds over here.
No, you can't read minds.
Evolution has not gotten to that.
No, we're not mind readers. That's why it's very important to be direct. So then going on to weddings, I think it's too going with the proposals as well. Like, people are just doing these big fancy weddings just to
post something
to have content, to show off to their friends that they have money to do all these things, which isn't necessarily the important part.
And we're not saying everyone.
No.
This is a huge, like, generalization. Like,
it is. Because, like, I'm in 2 weddings this year, and I'm a maid of honor in one, and I'm just a bridesmaid in the other. And I do know that there's low-keying a lot of things. I do think the wedding party might be a little big for the one that I'm in, but those also are all the people that are close to her. For me, like, I've decided after all the weddings I've been in, I don't want any bridesmaids or groomsmen. I just want it to be me and my hubby, and that's it. Because at the end of the day, it's about us two. Like, I'll have, like, designated maids of honors or whatever. Because
people to help. Like,
people
I just need you to help.
But I don't...
You don't get a title, though. You're helping because you love me. Point blank, period.
I agree with that. But I don't want, like, this huge train of bridesmaids and groomsmen and trying to make sure that everybody matches and dresses and this and that. And everyone's opinions at the end of the day, and it's why I get so frustrated with some of the wedding drama that I've had to deal with.
Or witness on Bridezillas.
Yes, that too.
It's funny.
Or even weddings in the past, or hearing other friends that are getting married that I'm not even a part of the wedding. Of all this drama that goes on, at the end of the day, it's about the bride and groom.
Yes.
It is about them.
Yes.
And people make it all about themselves, and I think that's such a huge problem. That's a whole nother topic as it is.
I mean, I had to have a big conversation with a family member where it was just like, if you decide to get married, you don't have, like, she was thinking that there was expectations of bridesmaids and bachelorette parties and bridal showers, and I was just like, it's your day, it's your wedding, it's your experience. You do it how you want. Forget everybody else. The people that are gonna be in, and she was saying, like, because people expect if they're in someone else's bridal party, to once you get married, they have to be in yours. No, that's not a thing.
No.
You only, and people also forget, the bridal party is not just supposed to help you on the wedding day. It's supposed to help you through marriage. So a bridal party, groomsmen party, it's to help you through your relationship.
Through your life.
They're supposed to be your witnesses. They're people that will make sure that their one job is not to look pretty on your wedding day. It's to be able to help you throughout their marriage, to keep them together throughout their marriage, through the good, the bad, to remind you, this is your love, this is why we're here, this is why I stood up for you. My job for you is to be your backup throughout your life, point blank, period. And I think that's the issue. That's the huge big picture. Is a wedding is a wedding. It's a celebration, but the marriage is the goal, and the people that you choose throughout.
I think people get caught up into the wedding part.
The party.
Nothing, but don't focus on the marriage.
Right.
Like, in a lot of people after that wedding day, they don't. Okay, what do we do from here?
Exactly.
You have to work on it. Like,
it's an everyday
process.
Yes, and for some, I still don't understand that. Maybe because I've never been married, but I don't understand why it changes so much when that signing of a paper, that commitment. If I've already committed to you, but for some reason a signing of a document causes things to ultimately change, I'm not there yet, so I may not understand it completely.
Happens. It's like our last episode when we talked about people growing and changing. I think over the years people evolve and they don't know how to communicate that they are changing.
Right.
That there is something that they feel has changed and with them, or they're not growing, or maybe one partner is growing and the other one isn't, and they're stuck in this mindset of just the wedding part and not that, oh, we need to move on to this and we need to go to the next phase in our life.
Right. Okay.
And maybe that's why a lot of marriages end up in
people
divorce.
Forget to grab the hand and be like, let's go.
Let's
go. we're doing this together. Come on.
But sometimes the person who's left behind doesn't necessarily want the same things.
Right.
Which is, I think, another reason why another big thing my mom always said, who has been married 3 times, and her first 2 marriages were before the age of 30, and she says, when you get married, you need to wait till you're 30, because the things that you want now in that, especially relationship wise, changes. Like, what I wanted at 20 years old in relationship
ridiculous.
Is so different than what I want now in my relationship. I didn't really truly realize what my parents had and what a great relationship was. And for now to be at my 30s, like, I have so much desire and need and want for what they had. And to find that is so hard in this day and age of instant gratification and wanting to have just the photos and the content for social media, because that's the world we live in. Right. And I don't even sometimes think, I'm like, is that even possible to have what they have? Yeah. Because we're so lost in this world of technology and who's going to be the next Instagram model and all those things.
And I think with engagement and finding that content, I think the biggest problem, because we're talking about engagement, people are getting engaged just for content. But I also think people who are getting engaged very quickly and then getting married, like relationship to engagement to marriage very quickly in like a span of like a 6 month to a year issue, where you don't have that time to get to know the person. Like in Estelle's, all the people that she's in their wedding party or have been in their wedding party, they've been together for a while. They've been
together for years.
Not like those people.
3 to 4 years.
Not like those people, but the people that you see online where you're like, oh, this is my new boyfriend, to, oh, he put a ring on it, I said yes. And then 3 months later, they're walking down the aisle and you're like, pause, what?
But I can see how that happens, because I sometimes feel like that's, I don't know.
Maybe I low-key think that's going to happen to me.
Too,
but
and we judge people for that. But too, some of those relationships end up being the best relationships for people. It's when you find that right person. Like, going back to always being a planner of everything. Yeah. Like, sometimes you need to live in that moment and enjoy that moment. And sometimes God or whoever, whatever you believe in, the universe all aligns, and that person you meet is...
that it's right there. They're here for you right now.
And that's when your life finally, everything just starts falling into place. Right. I don't think there's a timeline for anything, and I don't necessarily think there's wrong with people that meet somebody and get engaged. I think the problem is not fully getting to know that person. Right. Whereas some of those people just, I met somebody, I don't know anything about them, and 2 weeks later they asked me to marry them, and we're just gonna go out on a limb and get married. I'm like, whoa.
Hold on.
That
pause.
person can be a serial killer. That could be Ted Bundy for all you know. Like, that's I think
take you for all you're worth. Like, come on. Yes. Slow. Sometimes I think those moments but they're so rare. I think those moments of meeting someone, falling in love, getting married, I think those are so very rare. For some reason, we have the same feeling, but like we're also rare beings. So it's
that is true.
We're far more mature than I think that's because like getting married before I'm 30 or after I'm 30, like I've always my entire life have been far more mature than my age. I always make myself in my head older for the simple fact that that's how I feel.
I must be like an old hag at this point.
I mean, I feel like you're pretty on par of your actual age. You just don't look your age. Yeah. And I think it's the opposite. I look much younger than I am, but I also think far more ahead than the age that I truly am.
Well, we're not. We look for the future, and I think that's also where the common ground comes, that we know that it isn't just about this moment, that there has to be a future part to it.
Exactly. We think ahead. My mom has always, yes, live in the present, but also think of the future. Yes. So you can have both, but it's one of those things where you need to make sure you are entering something for the right reason. Yeah, and the right reason is not for content for social media. And I think that's where the issue lies with most, so I'm not going to say most people, but a fair good amount of people on social media where they're getting married to get married because
they're just posting it.
Exactly, because they feel left out, they feel lonely, whatever the situation is.
I will tell you, I feel left out, and I don't feel the need to go find somebody for it.
I'm not going to settle. Just because I have the issue, that doesn't mean that I'm going to put myself in more issue. No. I don't look for drama.
And it did make me feel better to know that like 77% of our viewers actually do want to get married.
Yes.
And I'm hoping it's all for the right reasons.
Yes.
If you all disappoint me, I'm going to punch you on the face.
That's a criminal record. No one, you don't need that.
I'm not going to punch
You too
anybody.
cute to go to jail.
I might. That is true. Orange is not my color. Although I might punch Nick, but that's a whole nother issue. Nick.
Ooh, she'll come for you. Don't worry.
Coming for you, Nick.
You'll get a phone call after this.
But so here,
God
you.
Bless
Jess.
you, baby. See, you know the truth is spoken when somebody sneezes. There you go. Oh my goodness gracious.
But so we like also took a poll about some of the biggest challenges in marriage, and one of the biggest one was communication. And I feel that is such a general life issue, which if you can't figure that out in life, you're definitely not going to figure out in marriage. But it's not. I do feel too, if you're going to actually work on things, you need to, especially work twice as hard on it in a marriage. Like I feel like I over-communicate.
You think for two people now. Like that's part of marriage. It's not just you. You have to think for twice. And sometimes that's difficult for people.
Oh, yeah.
They have to think twice as hard when they don't think at all in the first place. So, I mean, it's a struggle, but you also made that decision, so get it right, get it tight.
Yes. Oh, and I feel like I over-communicate things because I feel like I don't communicate enough things.
Right. I'm a worrier, so I'm like, I'll go through things like
I make
that. I do have like
head.
what if moments that when I was growing up, my mom used to hate it. She was just like, okay, stop asking me questions. That will never happen. I do it to Estelle all the time, and she's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Like
Shut up.
For me, like my brain is like a 5,000 million things, and you ask me, what if this happens and this, I'm like, bitch, shut up.
I'm enough.
Like I got enough situations going on in my head. I don't need whatever fantasy world you're living in. But one of the other things, especially if you have kids involved, which is a whole. I applaud you people who date people with kids. I really do.
You guys are martyrs, saints, God gift to the earth. Because I can't. I can't
but
do it.
For me, well, it's not even just the kids. Like for me, I love children so much. Like I am a full-time aunt. I love my nephews, although sometimes I want to kick them, but I love you guys.
In the most non-domestic abuse possible. People are watching, Estelle. You never know.
It's content. Anyway.
Oh, Lord.
But I couldn't date somebody with a kid. Like I remember my brother dating other girls with kids, and I got attached to their children, and now like I'm no longer a part of their lives. Just being like a fake aunt to them is just, it breaks my heart, and I couldn't do that with somebody that I was dating with children. And for you people that do that, I applaud you. You're a better human being than I will ever be.
But see, I have a pettier reason why I don't do that. It's for the simple fact that I don't want to deal. I always say this, like, God bless. Like, please, Lord, don't judge me. If I'm gonna date if I'm gonna date someone, this is gonna sound so bad, and I don't mean it to sound as bad as it's going to. If I were to date someone with a child, the mother would have to no longer be there, whether it's in death or abandonment, which will bring a whole bunch of other issues. But I just can't deal with the drama, the like, that's my child. And I understand there's mature people where I've seen that not be an issue, but I've also seen it be an issue. And I
see, that does bother me, but I always tell you this too. I grew up in a happy divorce home.
Yes, your situation
I had a very
is
weird
very
situation.
rare.
So my parents lived in the same household with my mom's ex-husband and his new wife. We all lived in one house as like the Brady Bunch.
Aesthetic.
Like
all
as
kumbaya.
And everybody respected each other. Me personally, I still don't want to date. Growing up in that, I don't want to date some of the kids because of that situation, because I have seen baby mama drama, and that is not for me. I'm not trying to be somebody else's mother. I want to be
but I also want to play a role
in somebody's kid's life.
Yes.
And other people have territories. Territory issues, which is why I love hippos, because hippos are very territorial. And I get that, because I'm very territorial, and mothers should.
They're bears.
They're bears. They should be territorial.
Absolutely.
I would be more worried over a mother who wasn't territorial.
But then also, like, that's when my mama bear would be like, what the hell's your problem? Give me the kid. And then that also causes, and it speaks to your reason for not dating kids, dating men with children, is because, like, if something were to happen to our relationship and I've already had a bond, like, oh my gosh, that's 2 heartbreaks.
It is. It is. And then another, like, biggest challenge in terms of getting married is finding a faithful mate. And listen, being single and dating is the same hard struggle. Yes. So I get it. And then Nick said invitation list for weddings, but I don't think Nick read the question. I'm being super petty to Nick right now.
Oh, that's why he was asking me. He was like, is that what it's called? And I was like, invite list? But I mean, invite is invitation.
That wasn't the question,
Oh
Nick.
my gosh, maybe. What was the challenge of marriage? The invitation. Yeah, sorry, Nick. I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about.
Let alone my other
That's an issue for a wedding. Yes, that's a big issue for a wedding, but not a marriage.
You're wrong, Nick.
Honey,
You're just
it's okay.
wrong.
He's gonna love it. We're talking about it. He's gonna love it. It's fine.
He's not gonna love his video he's gonna get from me later.
He may love that too. He may love that too.
Bitch.
Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe I deserve the Petty Award this week.
I think you do. You're holding on to a lot of issues from like 2 weeks ago.
I don't care. Well, what pissed me off?
Oh,
okay,
my
how about we just
goodness
give me the Petty Award
gracious.
because I need to get this off my chest.
I think you do. So let's just, round it all out together with this week's Petty Award. Petty Award. Petty Award. Petty Award. Honestly, somebody come up with some lyrics for this song. Melody, I may need you again. She also created our PAB. Shout out to Melody for creating. We've been singing our theme song.
Well, yes, and actually, it's funny too because even Jessie told me, she's like, I have your theme song stuck in my head.
Yeah,
like, the melody, we
that's
love
the
you.
point.
The song is pop.
Oh
we need to get it on
gosh,
the radio.
I love it. I love it so much.
It is. It's so great. But
yes. So the Petty Award this week goes to Estelle.
This wasn't in the plan.
No, it was not. Our Petty Award was actually going to be completely different about relationships. But I think this one's better.
I'm really annoyed with Nick, and I don't know why, and I shouldn't be.
You really shouldn't be. It's not that big of a deal.
It's not. But
by the way, Nick is my cousin / brother. Love you a lot. He's going to love this and repost it. You better repost this, I swear to God.
Well, you better make the clip. Just saying, I'm being extra petty right now.
I'm saying, I need you to not come for me. This is not about me.
It's about Nick, apparently.
You got a whole lot of issues with my family, bro.
I got a whole lot of issues
included.
with my right now.
Jesus Christ.
I apologize. I'm a little extra. Sorry. But
oh
no.
my gosh.
So
you tell the story, because honestly, I think you need to vent, girl, vent.
Girl, let it out. No. And now I'm like, get ready to say it.
Yeah,
like,
it's stupid,
so stupid.
but that's the point. Sometimes that's the pettiest moments when you're like, I know this is dumb, but
it is. So a few weeks ago, we did a
off.
poll on Instagram whether or not you would swipe left on Aryele or right on Aryele, or one versus a swipe left on Estelle or swipe right on Estelle. And what bothered me, because y'all family, like, you should be swiping right on you. And then you swipe left on me. Nick.
I'm beautiful. Like, hello.
First off, had nothing to do with whether or not you're beautiful, Aryele. It's not about you.
It's about incest. Don't swipe right.
Yeah, it's about incest, all right? And secondly, you swipe left on me, Nick, and I'm very offended by it, and I know nothing would ever happen because you're with Abby,
yes.
and I love Abby, but it's not the point. And I don't know why I am so angry about this, but I am. So...
Do you feel better?
No, I'm still angry. I want to yell at him in person.
You need to get it out in person. You'll get yours.
I do love you, Nick, but I'm angry with you. You get nothing.
Oh my God. Well, that's our petty award for this week.
I'm going to drink my wine now. Aryele, you finish
That has
the show.
yet to be resolved. We'll be back. This will be continued later. But if you enjoy the video, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up.
Ring the bell.
Put on the post notif. Girl, this is me. Shoot, drink your wine. Ring the bell so you can get notified when we post our next episode, which happens every Tuesday. We're still trying to figure out the time, so bear with us. And then comment below any suggestions, anything you like, anything you want us to talk about.
Topics that you definitely want us to talk about in our next episode. We're always taking in ideas. Mm-hmm. We love have you guys involved. It's so important to us because we're with you.
Exactly. Your feedback. I've been getting feedback all weekend. Have not been home once, except for right now. But yes, we've gotten so much good feedback. Don't hate on my life. I'm enjoying my 20s. Thank you. Anyway.
Nobody was hating.
Mm-hmm. Party too much? Uh-huh. Yes, I have.
Yeah, because I'm jealous because I have to work so much.
But
I'm so petty today.
You are.
I don't know what my deal is.
I'm gonna let you get it out because obviously you need to. I'm always here to be your vent box. Oh, that's cute, vent box. And make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at the PAB Podcast.
If you want to submit a petty award, the PAB Podcast at gmail.com. And make sure you follow us on Instagram. I'm at DeShocka.
And I'm at Aryele.Hardy.
And that's episode 6.
Thank you so much for watching. Cheers. Oh, that was loud.